Back Cover, the podcast that explores the classic soul music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm Karen Williams. Join me and my co-host Steve Williams, no, we're not related, as we flip over the album covers and share stories of the movers and shakers that created, wrote, and produced those iconic sounds. We'll educate and entertain you, all while keeping the music alive. The back cover is recorded from excerpts of our daily radio show, recorded at WLTH AM in Gary, Indiana. Welcome to episode number 16, and we'll be talking about some R&B artists who have new releases coming out for 2019 and early 2020. I wanted to mention, because a lot of people think because they don't hear artists anymore that they're not making any new music.
True.
Remember we talked about that?
True.
Because they don't get their music played on radio stations anymore. Their new stuff. Because what's the new stuff now? It's all hip-hop. And if you don't sing hip-hop, you know, you have very limited places, unless you go to their website. They probably play their stuff on their own website, but they don't have outlets for new music anymore.
Because of the executives that are driving the wheels of these, I want to say, radio stations.
Yeah.
Record companies, conglomerates
have taken over. So they've decided, oh no, you're only going to play hip hop because, and you know what, I really believe that they're not really selling that much. Well, streaming has helped them.
Streaming is one thing, but that don't mean you have to buy it.
That's right. But they don't care. All they care about is the money coming in, whether you're buying it to keep it or not. They don't care. They just want you to stream. But anyway, so in November, we got some Blue-Eyed Soul coming out.
Who?
Simply Red.
He's still around.
That's what I'm saying. People don't know that. He's
holding back the tea.
Holding back the tea.
He's one of those crossover brothers.
Yeah. In fact, his album is called Blue-Eyed Soul.
And didn't he do a cut off of Harold Melvin?
Yes.
If you don't know me by now.
If you don't know me by now.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
Okay.
Will Downing. There's a new album coming out. It's called Romantique, with an IQUE at the end. Romantique.
He used to sell out Star Plaza.
He did. And he had a nice voice. But
Chocolate Brother. I
wasn't really into Will Downing like that.
So is he a crooner or a jazz crooner? Or a little of both?
I've never heard him sing jazz. I've always just heard him do. He, to me, was a poor man's Luther. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that the brother can't sing.
You wrong.
But
a poor man's Luther.
Because he and Luther came out around the same time. Luther just had more finesse and finish, I think,
better
to his
PR.
music. And Luther wrote a lot of his own music.
And his shows were like Broadway.
Yeah.
They say his shows were
dynamic. I know. But Will has a nice voice, too.
He does.
Soothing, very. Baritone. Mm-hmm. Now they've got the hits and rarities of Solomon Burke.
Solomon has 4 sons. All of them are doing their father.
Really?
And then they meet at the end of the show, wherever they are, and all of them get together and sing Everybody Needs Somebody. And these guys can go. They can, and they get along.
Well, is that rare?
In show business, yes.
Okay.
Please go.
So Solomon Burke has the hits and rarities of Solomon Burke's coming out.
I want that for my birthday.
That's like day after tomorrow. I don't know if I can get it like that.
Put it on layaway. No,
it might have to be over. Najee, for the jazz people.
Najee.
He has a new album coming out in November 15th. It's called Center of the Heart.
Okay.
And in December and beyond,
a new Christmas,
Melba Moore.
She's back.
The Day I Turned to You. Now it says remastered, so it's probably an album she did before, and they're releasing it again. Your girl Mary Wells, The Early Years, that's coming out in December. You probably have all of that already, though.
No. Mary You know, Mary, believe it or not, had a short life at Motown.
Right.
But it lasted, the memories lasted longer than she did. And, you know, she left Motown and she got shopped around a lot.
Right.
And then she finally landed at Atlantic. And they didn't treat her so well. But by that time, she was in Cecil Womack and all them other brothers.
Yeah, that was all.
Hello, caller.
Hi, caller is Cora. How are you?
Well, fine. How are you?
Are you first-time caller, long-time listener?
Yes. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Listen, I was listening to you guys talk about Mary Wells.
Yeah.
And I did read briefly where she had a sickly life, and just about at the end of her career.
Cancer.
And died at an early age.
Yeah, cancer of the throat.
Yes, exactly.
But now you didn't know this. Maybe you did. The Womack brothers were famous for just they were just out there. You know, they loved many women, I should say. But now she married one brother and had a child while she was married to with the other brother.
Anyway, guess what group has a 50th anniversary?
Who?
Hughes Incorporation. Rock the boat. Rock the boat, baby. Rock the boat.
They have a 50th
anniversary.
They're not even still together.
But it's been 50 years since
they rocked the boat?
I believe so. Can you believe that?
I remember that when it came out.
I do too, and it was like
rock the boat. It was everywhere.
It was everywhere.
One woman, two guys, dude with a headband. Wow.
Rock the boat. They were a one-hit wonder, but they are really remembered as influence in the 70s music because of Rock the Boat.
What?
They came together in Santa Monica in the late 60s, so maybe they're using the 60s as their anniversary. The group, consisting of St. Clair Lee, Carl Russell, and Ann Kelly, was put together with the help of songwriter Wally Holmes. They named their trio after billionaire Howard Hughes.
The Hughes Corporation.
And I'm like, why?
No wonder they didn't last long.
Yeah, after a few minor recordings and a track in the Blackula movie soundtrack. See, if you had gone to see Blackula.
I saw Blackula. That's the problem. I saw it.
You're just so scary.
Yes, I am.
Russell was replaced by Fleming Williams from Flint, Michigan, who took over as lead singer. And in 1972, the Hughes Corporation was a regular sight on the Las Vegas club circuit, where they were signed by executive from RCA Records. And their first single was Freedom for the Stallion. They said that was a moderate pop hit, but it was the follow-up, the monster Rock the Boat, that created the band's lasting legacy. And this is from Soul Tracks. You know, our friend up at Soul Tracks Online Magazine had this article.
Got it.
They didn't go anywhere else after that.
No, the boat sunk.
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
I'm sorry.
But anyway, they've been together for 50 years. A lot of groups are celebrating their 50th anniversary.
Okay, let's get this straight. They are not together anymore.
The guy left. Williams left the group. And then the original guy, Carl Russell, came back.
To do what?
The act had a couple of more minor hits with Love Corporation and I Caught Your Act, but by 1979 their career was over. Yeah. They tried to get another group together in the 90s with two other people.
So the modern day Hughes Corporation would have been Shalimar.
Yeah, because they were the 90s iteration of the Hughes Corporation.
And
I mean a group like the Hughes. They weren't.
Yeah, they were.
But the Hughes Corporation actually they disbanded in 2011. They tried to get one of the guys tried to put it back together, but then by 2011 they were like done.
Boat sunk.
Yep. Selena Johnson has a new album coming out.
The daughter of soul singer Syl Johnson. Give me that fine.
For people who like jazz, David Benoit, Wayne Brady.
What?
He's got an album coming out.
Oh, okay. He's a good singer.
He is a good singer. Did you hear his rendition of Thriller? He did it like a jazz song.
No.
It is funny.
Oh.
It's good, but it's funny because when you listen to it, you're like,
Really?
why are they singing?
I heard of jazz. That was him then.
Well, I guess so.
I was in Olive Garden.
And it was a jazz version?
Playing over the, yeah.
Yeah, but he did a jazz version. It's on our Facebook
It didn't have Vincent Price in it though.
No, of course not. Because you know the story about him and Vincent Price.
Because it's a thriller.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah. But you know the story behind the Vincent Price Thriller thing.
I caught some of
You
it
know,
that
he
you
never
told
got
me.
paid.
He did well.
He only got paid for the record.
Not the. In other words, he didn't have a point on the album. Because when you have a point on an album and you participate in the recording of it, you're supposed to get residuals like royalties for using.
Well, he had a point on the record.
On the record.
But remember, Michael created the video genre.
Oh, so he didn't.
He didn't know anything about videos. So when they said they were going to give him royalties for the record
and not the video,
he didn't get anything for the video.
But look at the royalties from the record.
Well, this is true.
Sometimes you just can't be greedy.
But you know, now it's all about the video, the merchandising.
Yeah.
All of that's all included. People know now. But in 1980, what was that? When did he do that? 81, 2?
Thriller? No, that
4,
had to be
5?
4.
Okay. Think about it. What videos were out there? Nothing. And actually, Michael created a whole new genre of video.
It's amazing how MTV did not want black artists on
the videos, right?
On the videos. Truth be told,
right?
They did not want black artists.
And very but wait a minute, very few American white artists, because all of that stuff was English and stuff. I would turn it on. I'm like, who are these people? And they were all English. The only people that broke through for Americans was Hall
Michael.
Hall and Oates.
Oh yeah, okay.
Hall and Oates put him on the map, and then.
But Billie Jean
broke the color barrier.
Oh man.
They didn't even have Prince on there.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? And he's like totally.
And then they came up with this rapper, Fab Five Freddy, to be a host on Yo MTV Raps. Ain't that something?
Okay.
Now think about all the artists that have come and gone down through the years. What they could have done. Because I remember when, as working for Malico, Johnny Taylor did a video to a song called Good Love. It was the same album that had Last $2 on it. Johnny cut his mustache. We was like, Pete, why you cut your mustache? Hey man, I thought I was going to appeal to the young folks. Didn't happen.
Wow.
He cut the video, but he didn't know how to
market the video.
Well, Malico didn't know how to market it.
You know, I have often said that Motown and some of those older records should go back and make videos for some of those songs.
Well, here's the thing about that. Motown actually made some.
Artist doesn't have to be in them, but Motown has actual footage of their artists.
Well, what they would do, they did some, but they didn't always. Now, Marvin and Tammy, they did what was called.
They did some video.
They didn't call them videos then. They called them something like music talkies.
Okay.
I might not be right, but I'm in the right ballpark, so to speak. They did Martha and the Vandellas. They did the Supremes. And what they would do, they would film all of this stuff at Ford Motor Company. Dancing in the streets and all that. Mm-hmm. They were on the assembly line with the 65 Mustang, and these girls were sitting in one while it was being assembled. Mm-hmm. You see? You saw Marvin and Tammy's Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Right.
You saw that one. The Temps, they didn't have a whole lot of them.
But they had a lot of footage of them that they could put together anyway.
True that. So true.
So, but I'm saying like
if
now,
they could go back, yeah.
Now, Motown was a little different because they had a PR machine going.
Needless to say, Stax wasn't right there with them, but they were close.
Okay.
Because in Memphis, Motown didn't exist.
Really?
Stax was king, man. Stax, High Records. Soon after that.
So they didn't get a lot of airplay down in.
Oh, they got airplay, but they didn't. They weren't as popular, I'll say, as far as shows in the South.
Okay.
Now, when they did go south, they would hit places like Birmingham, Nashville,
the bigger cities.
And Memphis pretty much is a big city in the South.
I know.
You know, but for some reason or another, Stax had the hammer nailed down. Stax artists were kings and queens in Memphis.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that we don't have a lot of video.
Well, mostly because most of Stax artists were considered Southern soul and Southern blues, if you will.
But it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's just not a lot of video on those artists back in the 50s, 60s, and the 70s, maybe some. But when you think about it, because, people don't know, a lot of younger people.
Well, where were you going to show them at, though?
I know that, but I'm just saying it's unfortunate that there wasn't anything back in those days where
True that.
I'm sure there are a lot of stills. The state may have a lot of stills of some of those artists. Thank you for listening to this episode of The Back Cover. Don't forget to subscribe. This episode has been brought to you by SDM Investments. SDM Investments, your GPS to financial security. They can be reached at 888-588-0858 or at www.sdminvestments.com.